Yeah. All right, my man. State your name. Let them know you on Nickavelli TV.
Yeah, my name is Sal Figueroa, and I'm Nickavelli TV.
All right, you on Nickavelli. It's good. It's good.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, we gonna let you get through.
Gotta get my coffee, bro.
We gonna let you get through, man. I'm looking at the coat, man. I like that. I see you got the Celtics on there. You got Portland. You got the Golden State Warriors. Let me see. You got the Nets. But you know what, my man? You got the 76ers, the Bulls. You got the Jazz. You got the Suns. Yeah. I mean, you all decked out. So
I'm a Knicks fan.
That's what all counts, man.
1970s.
So we gonna zoom in right here, y'all.
Right.
That's what. This is the best part of the jacket.
Yeah.
All right, my man. Talk to me, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm an NBA fan, but I'm more of a Knicks fan. Back in the 70s, I remember when Knickerbockers, Frazier, Earl Monroe, Dave DeBusschere, Cassie Russell, six man. Willis Reed came out in the seventh game when they thought that he wouldn't come out against Will Chamberlain in Game 7 of 1970 to win that championship, but finally break the Boston Celtics jinx they had on the Knicks. Finally broke through with that.
Okay, so back in the 70s, who was your best player that you enjoyed watching?
Dave DeBusschere. He passed on. Dave DeBusschere.
What did you like about Dave DeBusschere?
Well, he was always the workhorse. He was always the guy to throw the picks, the little jump shots, baseline jump shots. He was the itty bitty forward, but it was the deal breaker from the Detroit Pistons to the Knicks that made that trade from Dave DeBusschere from the Pistons to the Knicks. That was the final piece of the puzzle to capture that championship in 1970. That was the main ingredient. Was Dave DeBusschere, one of my fantastic players. A guy who throw a serious pick, a guy that will rebound and lead the fast break off the boards. Bill Bradley was another one.
Okay.
That really was a come-around player from Princeton University and played fantastic with the Knicks. That was another piece of the puzzle in 1967 when he got drafted by the Knicks. Excuse me, 1966 when he got drafted by the Knicks. That was the other piece of the puzzle that put him in the playoffs. 67, 68, and 69. Unfortunately, the Knicks, every time they would play the Boston Celtics, Game 7, they would lose that for 3 straight years to finally they broke the door in 1970.
Okay, now who was responsible for stopping the Knicks for them 3 years from getting the big chip?
All right, from stopping the Knicks was the 1970 Bucks, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from Powell Memorial High School. He went with the Milwaukee Bucks, he got drafted. That broke 1971. 1972, finally the Lakers, after the 8th chance, after the 8th time reaching the finals, losing all finals, finally the 9th time in 1972, the Los Angeles Lakers, they won 33 in a row, they wanted to finally capture the championship. In 1973, then the Knicks captured their 2nd championship, but they beat Boston. Pro Bill Russell, he retired. Finally, the Knicks beat the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals in 1973 to break the Boston jinx as far as never losing a Game 7 at Boston Garden. Their Dean Memminger, may he rest in peace. Rice High School, East Harlem product here for East Harlem, Rice High School. Played in Marquette, scored 20 points in the mid-third quarter and the 4th quarter. Put 20 points there to put the Knicks over the top. And the Knicks had that game already, Game 7 against Boston Celtics 73, up by 17 with 6 minutes to go. Bill Russell, who was an announcer and retired with Keith Jackson, he even said it on TV as an announcer, color announcer. The Knicks, they about did it. The Knicks gonna win this. And sure enough, the Knicks went on to 73 and then beat the Lakers again for the 2nd championship with Will Chamberlain, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor, and beat them again. Okay,
now let me ask you this. How was Clyde Frazier as a player back then?
Should have been the MVP in 1970. Scored 36 points in that first championship, 12 assists, 6 steals. Should have been the MVP, but he gave it to Willis Reed because he came out that tunnel thinking that he was going to play with the bag leg, scored the 2 points and scored the first 2 baskets from the foul line, from the point line to captivate the Knicks' first championship. That's why they gave Willis Reed the MVP. But in 73, Willis came back from the knee injury again, but in the beginning of the playoffs, and exercised the playoff, win the conference championship against Boston, and won 73, and he was the MVP for the 2nd time in the final. But Walt Frazier was the greatest Knickerbocker ever to touch the Garden floor at Madison Square Garden. The greatest Knick of all time was Clyde Frazier.
Okay, and the greatest center of all time in your eyes for the Knicks?
Not necessarily. It was Bill Russell.
The greatest center?
The greatest center, Bill Russell. 11 championships in 13 years he played as a center for Boston Celtics.
As a Knick? As a Knick?
Yeah.
Center. Who's the greatest Knick
Willis
center?
Reed. Willis Reed, the greatest center.
Over Patrick Ewing?
Well, in the sense of winning the big game. Patrick Ewing, my heart goes out. He reached 2 finals. In 1994, they lost to the Houston Rockets. In 1999, they upset Miami Heat. But he tore his Achilles tendon. Couldn't make that 99 finals to play, and they wound up losing to San Antonio. Would have been a world champion. In 1999, if he hadn't tore his Achilles tendon, would have beat San Antonio Spurs. Unfortunately, he didn't play in that championship, and they lost to San Antonio. David Robinson was his champion in 1999. The Tree Speedwell, that was the catalyst to the Knicks 99 finals.
Okay.
Here's an eighth seeded team to beat the Miami Heat on number 1 seed.
Right.
In a while. I mean, that's unheard of.
Right.
8th place team to beat a 1st place team.
Talk to me about Earl Monroe.
Earl Pearl. Well, he was the master at the baby jump shot. But what a ball player he was. They never thought that when he was traded from the Baltimore Bullets to the Knicks in 1972, they wasn't going to work out with Walt Frazier. It turned out to be they were the Rolls Royce of the backcourt. Back in the 70s for the Knicks, they were the Rolls Royce backcourt.
Clyde Frazier and
Earl Monroe.
And Earl Monroe.
The Rolls Royce of the backcourt in the 1970s. 73 championship, and then throughout the playoff was the Knicks. Walt Frazier and Earl Monroe. It clicked.
And them two used to go to war at one time, right?
Against the Baltimore Bullets. The Knicks will always be trouble with the Baltimore Bullets in the first round, but the Knicks will always come up on top of the Baltimore Bullets with Wes Unseld and Earl Monroe. They will always beat, the Knicks will always prevail in Game 7 against the Baltimore Bullets. But it was a tough series. First round, second round, but the Knicks always came out on top. But once again, we'll go against the Celtics with Bill Russell there, and we'll come up short. And then finally, 1970, Bill Russell era, when he retired, the Knicks finally knocked the door down in 1970.
Now, let me ask you this, OG. You follow the Knicks of today?
Today, I follow the Knicks today. Unfortunately, they're the worst team with 60 losses. But if we come out number 1, the draft lottery pick, Zion Williamson of Duke is going to be the number 1 pick for the Knicks. Guarantee you. If the Knicks win the lottery win the lottery and number 1.
Okay.
Definitely going to get Zion Williams of Duke.
Okay. And how do you feel about Chris Porzingis not being with the Knicks? Well, you think he was a snake for doing that?
No. It was a business deal. The Knicks got a number 1 pick out of here. And a number 1, 2 out of pick out of here. Plus a couple of players trade. To clear salary cap. To clear the salary cap. The Knicks made that move to clear salary cap. But the Knicks now, come June, the Knicks got over $100 million to play with for free agent, 2 max free agents. They could sign a free agent and another free agent max. So I don't know who's going to be in the play, but the Knicks going to have plenty of salary cap room coming this season.
So how you feel about Kyrie and Kevin Durant possibly coming to the city of New York?
That's a long shot. Kevin Durant, I don't see him leaving the Golden State Warriors, even though he joined that team ready-made to win a championship. But I don't think he's not coming to the Knicks. I don't think so.
And Kyrie?
Kyrie, that's another. I think Boston locks him up long term. They give him that big contract where he's going to stay with Boston. But depending how far they go in the playoffs, the Celtics win the championship or go in the finals and lose a Game 7 or something with Golden State, because you figure Golden State is going to make that finals in the NBA. So if they lose tight or they win a championship, I don't see Kyrie ever coming to the Knicks.
But you see Zion. You see Zion.
Yes, number 1 pick. If the Knicks come in the number 1, if the Knicks win the number 1 choice in the lottery, number 1 pick. Back in '85, they won the number 1 pick with Dave DeBusschere as the general manager, and who they picked? Patrick Ewing. Unfortunately, Bernard King and Patrick Ewing would have won a championship with Bernard King. He was essential. Bernard King was essential. Point forward, dead-eye shooter, 50 points a game. Unfortunately, that never materialized between Bernard King and Patrick Ewing. They could never play together on the same court. Never materialized.
And moving right along, what you think about Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, and Alonzo Trier?
Well, that's a toss-up. We don't know whether, you know, but it's going to be, the Knicks, you know, we talk about the Knicks. The Knicks got some moves to make this summer, but it's got to be playoff moves. That's all I can say.
All right. My man, I want to thank you for your time, for coming on Nickavelli TV.
Yeah.
For all my viewers, make sure y'all like and subscribe. But before we go, man, let them know what you about as far as your history, man. Look at them rings, y'all. Talk to me about them rings, man.
Okay, now this right here is Super Bowl 16 and Super Bowl 24.
Okay.
I worked in the equipment room for the San Francisco 49ers back in the 80s.
Okay.
And I worked as an equipment guy. And I was, you know, in charge of the uniform. Put the uniforms down. You know, as part of the equipment guy, put the uniform down, lay it down in the players' locker room, and then make sure that everything is right now. But the 49ers with Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Dave Clark, may he rest in peace, that he passed away. The guy with the immaculate reception to win Super Bowl 16, to take him to Super Bowl 16 against the Bengals and beat them. May he rest in peace. Dwight Clark.
All right, and man.
That's all I can say. Out of respect, the Bartow family, thank them so much for letting me enjoy that time with the 49ers.
All right, and once again, man, I love your jacket, but we all know what the best part is. We're going to zoom in on the best part of your jacket, man.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to be out. But that's what it's all about. Peace.